everybody. It's Ron and Hope Unfiltered, real, raw, relevant. And we are so glad that you are here today. Ron, what are we talking about? Wait. You didn't get a drink of water?
No, I'm switching it up.
You didn't put a cough drop in your
I'm
mouth?
switching it up today.
You are?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Just want to do something different.
What are we talking about today?
Recognizing and offsetting your spouse's weaknesses.
You don't have any.
It's got to be for real. We're trying to help people.
I just
We're not
can't
trying to
find
be a
any.
comedy show. We're trying to help people.
Just can't find any weaknesses you
It
have.
is difficult.
Yeah, I know.
I have some deep down in there if you dig deep.
It's that deep, wet
They're
cough
not
you have
surface.
in the middle of the night.
Listen, I left California with ragweed and I got here and everything was yellow
Right.
with pollen and I had the crud.
But
I'm doing better. You heard me cough all night one night. But you did not offset my weaknesses. You criticized my weaknesses that night. And there needs to be a learning curve in that.
Really?
Because I needed some help. I was coughing.
Like that, but over and over and over.
Well, help me.
I can't help
Yes,
you.
you can't get up and help me and pray for me.
I did pray for you. I
No,
prayed you to
didn't.
go in the other
No,
room.
you didn't. And I did.
Yes. Finally at 4:30 in the morning.
Man, hear all that bitterness coming through this microphone.
Because I need my rest,
It's
Ronald.
another thing we'll talk about.
Are we?
Yeah, let's hit them.
That ain't a weakness. God made me that way.
First thing is, let's be something serious, and then we'll go into them. Because to get them to talk about theirs, we have to talk about ours. But first thing is, at our marriage conference, we have one of the things we talk about. It's not a whole session; it's just a part of a session. We talk about the difference between friends and partners, and how marriage is unique, and that it's the fact that those are usually two different things that are played out in two different settings. But in marriage, they have to both coexist.
Right.
Okay? For instance, let me go this way. I want to set this up for everybody because they need to understand this. Like I tell people like my dad. My dad, the largest church he ever pastored, our biggest days was probably 250, 300 people. Okay? I don't ever remember my dad having a staff person ever. I think he had a part-time secretary one time. It was just for a little while. So my dad was
Who typed the bulletin?
So my dad was one. My dad typed that stuff.
What?
Yeah, he was a one-man gang. Well, he got us to do stuff. So Daddy had a whole family for his salary is what he had. I cut the grass and went in there and straightened up the hymn books at night and vacuumed the carpet. I mean, it's just the culture of the way you did it back then. The whole family, if a pastor got a paycheck, the whole family run the church. So long and short of it, I told people, I said, my dad never had to make, really an administrative decision his whole life. He got to be pastor all the time. And pastor, administrator, two different things. Pastor, I shepherd you. Pastor, I'll do anything for you to aid you, to try to help you get where you need to go to come out or what you need to come out of. But as an administrator, we have, last I checked, like 146 staff people. We probably have a volunteer staff of up near 4 figures. And organizational flow charts and all type of contract labor and this and that and other. And so I have to walk in a room and decide, am I a CEO or am I pastor? Because
it's a delicate balance.
Oh my gosh, because they have to do two different things and they have to walk. For instance, if you're there and you need pastoral counseling and you've been addicted to drugs, we're pastors and we bend over backwards to minister to you. If you're in there to process our data in accounting receivable or accounting payable, you got to work.
You got to pay the bills.
And if you can, I got to get somebody in there who can. That's a whole different kind of decision.
You don't have to pet them.
Yeah, and a lot of times you go in this room and they're like, well, I thought you was a pastor. I'm like, yeah, but you're taking God's money on salary and benefit package, and this is your assignment, and this has to get done, So I have to walk in this room because those two assignments are almost mutually exclusive from one. What I would do as a pastor, I'd never do as a CEO. What I would do as a CEO, I would never do as a pastor. Okay? Basically, friends. You're friends out of likenesses. Mm-hmm. I talk about, you both like action movies, or both like Mexican food, or you both like sushi, or you both like ball games, or you like the same team. And those are the likenesses that create friendships. your partners out of weaknesses. I don't need a partnership whose strength is my strength.
Right.
That's not a partnership.
Right.
When two businesses merge, it's because this business does something that this business stinks at. This business does something good they stink at. When you put them together, they become powerful.
Right. Well, I was taken out of you.
Right.
I was
you're going
taken
somewhere
out.
totally. Yeah, you're going next level now.
So I have what you don't have anymore.
God reached into the ground to make Adam, then everything else he reached into Adam.
Right.
That's powerful.
It is.
Eve came out of Adam, so therefore Eve possesses what Adam no longer has.
Right.
And Adam possesses what Eve no longer has, so let the two become one flesh. When you get the two right partners together, it is a great one.
It is.
People that are having a hard time being one, usually it's because of these things right here.
Because they don't know that principle first and foremost. I was taken out of you, so I have what, you're depleted in some area because I was taken out, but then I get mad at you for not having that area.
Not having that same characteristic. Yes, I said, instead of, pardon me, y'all, seriously, I'm on the backside of it, I'm doing better, but it was yucky about 5 days ago. We take those differences which God brought that person in your life to shore you up,
right,
and make you complete. We use them as a place of battleground.
Right.
People go to war over these things because that is where I'm different from you. That is where you're different from me. I'm not only supposed to recognize and celebrate your differences, I'm supposed to offset your differences. Mm-hmm. So the places where, I don't possess this quality.
That's why I try to drive all the time, because clearly
that's just not going to happen, because all the wrecks have come from one side of this family.
I have never had a wreck.
All of the rims. There's only one person in our family that's ever driven into the side of the administration building.
That was the car's fault.
But it still happened.
Yes.
The car's fault.
It was.
Yeah, it cranked itself up and ran in the building.
It was running, but I was parked, and I thought it was in park.
And it was the car's fault that you thought it was in park.
Drive, and I got out and shut the door, and it went on
the hallway of the admin building.
I did. But Ron, you almost kill me 100 times a day. And other people, you get this close to the back of a car.
She starts doing like this right here, and I look, and it's about a mile and a half.
No, it isn't. No. That is, you're going to get struck.
We got a little while.
Ron, you are up on somebody's butt in front of us this close. I mean, so close, you couldn't even put a person in between it. And then they'll slam on brakes, so inevitably you have to slam on brakes. And I'm like, Ron, if you weren't so close, you wouldn't have to slam on brakes.
Baby, one of our posts of assignment is the Bay Area of California. There are 14 million people. It's called traffic.
You do this in Greenville. You do this in Possum Kingdom.
I have to put on brakes in traffic. But let's talk about some areas where we're weak. And we recognize it. We don't go to war over it.
You don't recognize that one, though.
What one?
The driving.
No. I have a very good driving record.
Okay.
And my insurance is cheap because of it. I don't even have tickets.
Let's go. What?
I don't have any tickets.
You've never had tickets.
What, 10, 15 years? I can't even remember last time I had a ticket.
You get at least 2 tickets a week in California for driving in the wrong lane.
Oh, I ain't talking about that.
For driving in the wrong lane.
I don't get to. That was when I didn't have the fast pass.
They take your picture. Driving, you going.
That ain't wrong.
They take your picture.
In California, they got fast pass, and my car thing was out of date, and so they take a picture of you and they send you a $15 fine.
At least twice a week.
That is not happening. I don't know how long.
Anyway, let's keep going.
It's not a weakness. Security forgot to do that to my car. That's security's assignment. I can't do everybody's job.
Okay.
All right. What would you say one of my areas where I'm weak and you offset it, and it don't bother you to offset it? You understand that's not an area where I'm strong. I can name 4 or 5
Keeping up with the household, like bills and all of our policies and all of that. You're not administrative at all, really.
Yep. You know, when I realized
Passwords, computers, doing all the banking. You don't do
unfortunately,
any of that.
sometimes life will allow things where you see things that your spouse does that maybe you took for granted. Unfortunately, a lot of people know, 13 years ago, we were separated for a short time. When we were not together, I was lost. I mean to tell you, I was lost. You had everything online. You have everything scheduled. I didn't have a password. I didn't have a passcode. I didn't know what went where. I didn't know how much anything was. And that was one of the first, the light came on like, man, she takes care of this and I don't even have to worry about it. And I'm being for real right now.
Right.
I mean, I had a real, I'm like, doggone. She's got all this
And it's
stuff.
a lot.
Yeah, and I didn't have any idea about any of it because it's not something you've ever asked me to do, nor have I ever had to worry about until you were gone.
Right.
And when you were gone, it's like, oh, crap, And I'm sure I could evolve and learn how to do it, but I had just never been asked to. And here again, you don't know you need that thing you're leaning on until somebody kicks it out under you.
Right.
And all the bills, I ask you every time I get paid, how much money do you need?
Right.
We put that
And
into
it's the same amount
we
each
put
month.
we put that pretty much. We try not to create a lot of bills, and so we put that in there. We try to put the rest in savings or whatever investment we may be doing, or we got some things we do for our grandkids for school and this and that and other. But we take that. I give it to you. Once it gets to you, I don't have any idea what you do from that point on. I just know the bills are paid and nobody's ever come got me.
That's right. And they're never late.
And I know that I went to trade cars 2 weeks ago and my credit was a 755. So you must be paying them on time and paying them good. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm grateful for that because I don't ever have to worry about that. I don't ever think about it.
Right.
Never think about it. I do think about the vision for my household. Now that's different.
Yeah.
I'm always the guy. Here's where we're going. Here's what I want to do. Here's the trust I want to open up. Here's the college funds I want to. I have the vision, but the month to month execution, you do all of it.
Right. Oh my goodness, we've got an ad. We got an ad right now.
We do.
Yes. I don't want to forget it because they're awesome. And
They
it's
are
Green Chef. And I'll just tell you before we even start the ad, we have been doing HelloFresh for a long time and it is amazing. But we've added Green Chef to our routine and their food is so good. It's just as good, but different recipes, and we love it.
Yep.
We absolutely love it. So this year, ditch the fads and create healthier eating habits that last with real clean foods. Green Chef makes it easy with recipes curated for a variety of lifestyles and dietary needs. Want to create better eating habits that last? Green Chef makes it easy with dietitian-developed recipe options featuring fresh, organic produce and quality whole foods delivered to your door every week. With pre-made sauces and pre-portioned ingredients, there's less prep and less mess, and more time to savor delicious restaurant-quality meals. The last one we had, you were like, goodness gracious, what is this? And I said, it's a new recipe.
Yep, I remember.
And it's so good, so good. So thrive all year with clean, easy meals from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/Ron and Hope free and use code Ron and Hope free to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. That's Ron and Hope free. That's greenchef.com/Ron and Hope free and use the code Ron and Hope free to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. And it's yum, yum, yummy. You'll love it.
Please, please, please honor these amazing sponsors because they help us do what we do and we're grateful for them. And we wouldn't advertise for them if we didn't use them and believe in them.
Well, that's kind of like you have to. You have to use it.
Yeah,
and we love it.
It couldn't come across authentic unless you actually use these vendors. So please do that. Another one for me.
That I have
where
to.
You got me and I don't, sometimes I may know it, sometimes I may not even realize it. Where, you know what? He just, that ain't his thing. I got him. I can tell you what
This
it is.
is
It's all of our scheduling.
scheduling. Yeah, I do all the scheduling.
All
I
of
buy
our
all the plane
all of our
tickets.
personal life.
I'm basically your other administrator. I'm your
You-
life
You
administrator.
administrate. Let me tell you guys something. I have never in my life, except at a gate,
Bought a plane ticket.
ticket. Ever.
No.
Okay? We have trips that are amazing. Rarely does anything go wrong. The last one we had some stuff go wrong, but it had nothing to do with your planning.
Right.
She plans all those types of things. I get really stressed and gone a long time with no time off, and I'll just keep plowing through. She will come in there and say, Thursday we're going to so-and-so. And I probably would have fussed about that 10 years ago. I don't fuss no more when you come tell me that. I was like, so those are an area, I don't know that I've ever planned a trip. I mean, like maybe if we're going to do a day trip.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, let's go do it, but I'm talking about like a trip.
Well, I think that goes back to just your gifts, your gifting, and what you're good at, what you're not. You truly just are not good with
I'm not.
technology.
No.
With
Y'all
phones
think I'm
or
sandbagging though.
computer-
Y'all think I'm sandbagging, remember?
Phones, computers, with bills and online things and just administration in general. That's just not your thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're great in other areas, but that's just not your
I
deal.
see that it's administrated.
Yes, you want it done.
Yeah, and I know if it ain't done, yep, and I hold it accountable. One of yours is
Uh-oh.
just doing things for yourself.
What?
Hope, you're so rotten.
I'm rotten.
You're just, it's bad.
Is it?
It's bad. It's just.
But I never have asked you to
And
do it.
everybody knows it.
But I've never asked you.
But you are just.
You do it because you want to do it.
Like.
Ron, you say I'm rotten and you say doing things for myself.
You're rotten.
I know how to get in and out of the bathtub. I'm not handicapped. You come in there because you want to see me naked.
What I say a little bit? Nope. I'm not a naked monger.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a nudity monger. I'm not.
Yes, you come in there because that is the whole goal. It has nothing to do
Your
with
son is sitting
helping
right
me
over there. Don't tell him about
get
nudity.
in and out of the tub.
I said you don't sense danger.
Okay.
All of our bathrooms, the tile is slick.
Ron, we got a mat.
Hey, the tile is slick. Okay. How many hip surgeries have you had?
2.
On which ones? Both
One
of them.
on each.
Okay. Now, why would I not want you to put your weight outside on a tile floor when I have nursed you through to because I get out, you step out, you use me to press your weight. When you're getting out, I take the towels, I wipe off your feet and make sure they're dry.
But why does that make me rotten? Because I had 2 hip surgeries.
Because
and
you're
you
rotten.
help me.
It's just rotten.
Okay.
It just is. And when your feet, one of your weaknesses is not realizing how hard your feet get.
It's because I go barefooted. That is not a weakness. Right.
So what do we do in the mornings? I bring you your coffee. You sit in a chair. I bring you a blanket. And then you take your feet and set them in my lap. And that is your morning. It's the way your day starts. And you got so bad recently with this hernia surgery you had where you just didn't even ask. You just sat in a chair and just point. You just.
Because I couldn't physically get up.
And so you point and I just get up out of the chair and I come sit back down. And then by the time I sit back down, you go, you pick up your cup and you go.
No.
And it'd be empty. And you just set it down. You wouldn't even say nothing.
No,
and I'd get back up and I would go do it. And so just the generality of doing for yourself. Hygiene can be a weakness.
What?
Yes. Yep. Hygiene.
So anyway, this has gone down a rabbit hole.
Hygiene.
Nothing
You know
good.
how your hair gets wet? Right? What is hat
what
day?
do you? Okay, wait
What
a
is
minute.
hat day?
So what does that have to do with you? Do you go wash my hair for me?
No, I have to remind you. I'm your reminder.
Oh, you're the reminder.
Yep. Like,
Okay.
baby, we really need to think about a shower today.
Okay.
And I say it nice. We really need to consider that we don't need to go days at a time. We had a first day, a second day, and a third day. I tell you, by the third day, we can't go any further than that. We have to have a bath. Right?
Okay.
Agreement with that? Okay, you get the last one. What's another one of mine? What about the office?
No, I'm going to go something pretty personal.
What
with
about
you.
the office?
You scared?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You scared?
I
You
got
scared?
personal weaknesses.
You scared? You scared? No, this is true. This is a true one. This is for real.
Okay. You want to whisper it before you say it?
I cover you.
Do you want
Ron.
to whisper it before you say it?
Because you are. How do I say this? In a good way. You tire of people quicker than I do. Oh God. I have to be the social butterfly of the couple.
You got to explain that. You can't just throw that out there.
Ron tires of people quickly.
You don't know the depth at which I pour out.
Oh my God.
You don't know the depth that I pour out.
Well, people all around, so I look over and Ron's in the corner looking in his phone.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, Ron, come here.
Okay, let me tell you what she's talking about.
Oh.
Okay, I'll leave the house in dark.
Oh, God.
I'll go pray for an hour and 15
Lord.
minutes. No, on Sunday morning. No, let me
You
say
did a little
context.
violin.
Let me say this is reality.
Okay.
Okay. I get ready. I go through 2 services from beginning to end. This is this past Sunday.
We're talking about a Sunday.
Okay, this past Sunday.
Okay.
Which is nothing but talking. I mean, like word tank gone. Go back, family, eating back there in our green room, having lunch together, which is nice, but it's talking, carrying on conversations. Went home, changed clothes, got in a car, and we had about 10 people going to a place up near Charlotte where I was preaching, just talking. Then I went into the green room, met everybody before service, talking. Then I went for a 2.5-hour service, talking, ministering. Went back afterwards to an after meal with more preachers, talking, okay? And then coming back, we just had a car full. It ain't being tired.
That's unusual day.
No, but here's the thing. It's in those settings like after I've preached and we're in the ready room and we got all these couples and everybody's laughing and having a good time and it's 11:30 and you see me start getting quiet and you start pinching me under the table saying you're being rude. And I'm looking at you like, I'm not being rude. I'm done. I am done. I don't have anything else.
But it's true. Early in the marriage, that would aggravate the snot out of me.
It did. It made you mad.
Made me mad. And I would say you was being rude. But now what do? I cover your back.
Y'all, we're going to get Ron home.
No, or I'll blame me. I'll say, y'all, I'm tired.
Yep.
Or I'm sleepy.
So let's be fair to the audience. That is one area that was an agitation.
It was.
Because you are like Mrs. Let me be in the middle of everybody. That's just your thing. And you are amazing at it. I told you.
It doesn't weaken me.
No, I told you last Sunday when we went back home, I said, come here, I want to tell you something. And I sat you down on the couch, put your feet in my lap. And I told you, I said, I just watched you today. And I said, you just freaking amazing. I said, the magnetism.
Wait, put that up there.
The way the magnetism. I said and told you right in your eyes looking at you, tell you that. But I get to it. A guy don't have the word tank a woman has anyway, just in general. But you get me where I've been, I started talking to God that morning. And I mean, I'm at 11 o'clock that night and I'm still talking. I mean, I'm just done. And I'm not trying to be rude. I don't want to be rude. But there comes a point like, okay, I can't answer another question. I have nothing else to say, you know. And I don't mean in those settings to zone out, but that's exactly what I do. What I do, show people what I do.
Ron, you'll be like, mm-hmm. It's just it comes across as rude. It does, because you're like very short answered, and you're like, mm-hmm, or what?
Rude?
And you'll look at me, yes, and I'm like, I'm over here smiling and really trying to engage, and because you're going, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But all you've had to do is say an
go,
occasional amen during service.
Brian, that is a service. I'm talking about just in general.
Maybe if we just have some friends over, I don't get like that. I'm telling them, why y'all leaving? Y'all party poopers. Y'all can't hang. Y'all going to bed at 8 o'clock. What's wrong with y'all? So but it's always got to do with usually after I've ministered. And then
that's true.
There's friend time with a bunch of people we know after I've ministered. And I give it everything I got.
People who don't minister don't understand that it's not just spiritual stuff. It's
focus.
Body, soul, and spirit. I mean, it's focused. You've used your energy. You've been amped up trying, to get ready to deliver the word. You've delivered it, and then you're exhausted.
Well, you come down.
You do.
And sometimes we take people out to eat on Sunday, and I will sit there and tell them,
you will
guys,
say, guys, I'm
going to listen a little more than I'm talking, because I can feel the air going out of the tire.
Yeah.
I
know it. I get that.
And but you do. You cover me. But now I've gotten to the place, since you've told me it comes across as rude, I will just warn people up front. I'm like, look, guys, I'm about talked out. I've been talking all day. Y'all talk, I'm going to listen a little bit. And I can do that. But if you keep making me give, I struggle. I had a point where I just don't have any more. And you cover me?
Yes.
You got me?
Yeah, I do.
It's not a battlefield, guys. It's not a battlefield.
It's just knowing your partner.
No, it's not
just
a battlefield.
Trying to truthfully go into it with understanding. And
when I
trying
go see that you hadn't
understand you're different.
When I see you hadn't plugged up your car and I know you're leaving at 9 the next morning, and I go, God, don't do that.
No.
I just grin and say, my baby. It's perspective.
Yeah.
It's perspective. It's, God, there's another thing they don't do. It ain't that.
You don't, instead of focusing on all the great things that they do.
I take care of my baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of my baby. And I want to. And when you get up next morning, I want it charged. I want you taken care of. So those are just things. Now, a lot of this, we're talking about growth over time. I mean, we weren't married, 2 months and we knew all these things about each other.
Or even 5 years.
But I don't remember many things outside of I do remember that really aggravated you, because you thought I was, I was being non-talkative and turning off. And I remember you would go back home and you'd fuss at me. We'd get in the car and about that. But other than that, I don't remember a lot of contention. We just picked up where the other person couldn't. And that's just what we do. And
doing a standoff doesn't fix anything.
Like if you just walked by the coffee pot and said, Ron is going to make the coffee. I'm not making no more coffee.
Today.
Yeah, people
That's
that get in that kind of thing, I just don't get it. Why?
It's the person who gets up first at our house, whoever
gets up first makes the coffee, period. You made it this morning, you got it before I did. I just, just whatever. And it's just one of those things, I went in there last night, we had the grandkids and they were all soaking wet from being in the bathtub. 2 nights ago, and there's stuff everywhere. And so you got any clothes? And I just start washing the clothes. What did you do? You went and took them out and dried them. I just think that's the way it's supposed to be. I've never said, no, baby, you're supposed to be the person that washes all the clothes.
Right.
I hate dishes. I don't know why. I'd rather vacuum the whole house than wash a dish. No, not dishes, than wash a dish. Okay?
But you did it last
night. But last night, you had Inner Circle, and I said, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grill something. I'm going to cook for you. And so we grilled, and we cleaned it up. And then after Inner Circle, everything was done, and we could spend the rest of the evening together. And I was like, crap, she ain't cooked yet for me this way. I don't. Just in like that. So I think it's all like you're talking about perspective. That's your night. No, nothing's pulling on me that night. You have an assignment that night. You had to prep for it. You had to study for it. You had to prepare. And then it's 45, 50 minutes, so you going at it. And then after you cut the lights off and cut the computer off, I wanted to have things done for you. Why? I didn't want you to go wash dishes. I want you to be with me.
I think these are just, some of this stuff is just common sense conversations
It
that
ain't
couples need to have.
But it's a warfare.
Like, what do you feel you're good at? What do you feel you're not good at? How can I help you in that? I'm talking about, this isn't osmosis. This is just sitting down and having conversations that are going to help your relationships and being willing to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm glad I got you.
Oh, I'm glad I got you.
I sure would be lost without you. And guys, we want y'all to watch this on your favorite streaming platforms. We want you to go watch it on YouTube. Tell them right quick, this is our podcast, so we can promote what we do. We put a lot of emphasis and a lot of effort in what we do. Tell them about the Inner Circle.
Inner Circle is a mentorship arm that I do. Not that I think I know everything, that I have all the answers. It's just that I'm sharing what God, downloaded in me and sharing the things that God is sharing me. I just believe that just like this kind of relationship, these are the relationships that help strengthen us. I think you need to have a lot of mentors in your life. And right now, this whole year, we're doing the fruit of the Spirit because I really feel like, everybody in general wants to live the best life that they can. They want to be the best and live the best and have the best. That's natural. But I believe that you will have everything that you're supposed to have if you become who you're supposed to become.
Life is not having, it's becoming.
It is becoming. And I believe that we should always be pouring into ourselves and allowing other people to pour into us. And that's what it is. We meet on the first Tuesday night of every month and the third Saturday of every month, have a private Facebook group. We talk on our own. We have a private circle app
I've heard
that we
many
communicate.
of them. I think it's your strongest stuff.
And it is really enriching. Yeah. And this fruit of the Spirit thing has been so convicting and so powerful. So if you would love to join, go to hopesinnercircle.com and all the information's there. You get the first month free. You get my book for free. And I'd love to have you.
And go grab Ron Carpenter AI, download the app. It's free. Just go download the app. Have conversations. It pulls from about 35 years of ministry, prayers, teachings, offerings, conferences, counsel, everything really that I've ever done that has ever been recorded, from cassettes
so it's
to
not
VHS.
An app making up answers.
No. It can only pull from my stuff.
Right.
And it's there. People are having hour conversations coming out of depression. People are getting help for Bible studies that they lead. People are getting answers to Bible questions. And then it has a tool on it where it'll tell you the teaching series that it pulled the answer from.
That's so cool.
Because the answers in 280-word answers are less. But it'll tell you, if you want to know more about this subject, it'll tell you where it pulled it from, and that would be the vault. That is where all of my archive messages are housed. And that's on the Ron Carpenter app. So check these things out that we have for you, because we've really put a lot of time and effort in being able to serve you in some way. So until next time, you end it.
It's Ron and Hope Unfiltered. Real, raw.
We'll see you guys real soon.
Relevant. He missed it. He just missed it.
It's my weakness.